Welcome to Tony's podcast, where we explore the deeper layer of a human interaction, communication, and the forces that shape our world. I'm your host, Tony, and today's episode, we're examining the role of words in warfare. How have words been used as a tactic to break the will of the enemy? Can words be as powerful as weapons on the battlefield? Join me as we delve into the strategic use of language in war. Psychologic warfare and the power of words. Throughout history, words have been wielded as tools of psychological warfare, a means to weaken the enemy's resolve without firing a single shot. The goal of psychological warfare is simple yet profound: to destroy the enemy's will to fight. This can be achieved by sowing fear, doubt, confusion, and despair, emotions that can cripple even the most well-trained soldiers. One of the earliest examples of psychological warfare comes from the ancient world. The Assyrians, known for their military prowess, would send messengers ahead of their armies to cities they intended to conquer. These messengers would loudly proclaim the horror that awaited the city's inhabitants if they resisted: torture, enslavement, and annihilations. The mere threat, delivered through words, often led the city surrendering without a fight. In more recent time, during World War II, the Allies and the Axis of Power both employed psychological operations, or psyops, to demoralize enemy troops. Radio broadcasts were a key tool in these efforts. The infamous Tokyo Rose and Axis Sally were broadcasters who, under the direction of the Japanese and German governments, respectively, used their radio programs to spread propaganda aimed at American soldiers. Their broadcasts included demoralizing messages, fake news about losses on the battlefield, and even attempts to make soldiers homesick, all intended to sap their fighting spirit. But why are these tactics so effective? The answer lies in the human psyche. In the chaos of war, where death is a constant companion, the mind becomes a battleground of its own. Words can explode the fear of the unknown, amplify existing anxieties, and create a sense of inevitability about defeat. When soldiers begin to question the purpose of their fight, or when they believe that their cause is hopeless, their will to continue the struggle can be shattered. The role of propaganda in shaping public perception. Words are not only used to target soldiers on the battlefield, but also to influence public opinion and maintain the morale of a nation's populace. Propaganda is the deliberate use of information, often biased or misleading, to shape perception and direct the actions of large group of people. During World War I, propaganda became an essential tool for both the Allies and Central Powers. Government produced posters, pamphlets, films, and speeches to rally their citizens, portray the enemy as monstrous, and maintain support for the war effort. One of the most famous examples is the British recruitment poster featuring Lord Kitchener with a song, "Your country needs you." These words, combined with a powerful image, inspired countless young men to enlist. However, propaganda isn't just about rallying one's own people, it's also about undermining the enemy's will to fight. Leaflets dropped behind enemy lines, for instance, were a common tactic. These leaflets might contain messages about the futility of resistance, exaggerated claims about the enemy's strength, or even promises of good treatment if soldiers surrendered. By eroding the enemy's confidence, these words could achieve what bullets could not: mass surrenders and the weakening of enemy forces. Modern warfare and cyber battlefields. In the modern era, the battlefield of words has expanded into the digital realm. Social media, news outlets, and even hacked communications are now used to wage information wars. State actors, non-state groups alike deploy misinformation and disinformation to influence both domestic and international audience. Take the conflict in Ukraine, for example. Both Russia and Ukraine has used information campaigns to control narratives, win international support, and demoralize the opposition. Russia's use of state-controlled media and social media bots to spread disinformation has been well documented. Meanwhile, Ukraine has countered with its own messaging, often using powerful stories of resilience and heroism to galvanize both its own population and the world. The rise of cyber warfare has only intensified the use of words as weapons. In this context, words are used not just to convey messages, but to disrupt entire societies. Hacked emails, leaked documents, and fake news stories can all be deployed to create chaos, undermine trust in institutions, and destabilize governments. As we navigate this new landscape, it's clear that words in the hands of skilled operators can be as devastating as any missile. They can erode trust, foster division, and ultimately break the will of a people or an army to resist. Defending against the weaponized of words. So how can an individual and society defend against the weaponized of words? The first step is awareness. Understanding that words are being used as a tool of warfare is crucial. Once you can recognize the intent behind the words, whether they come from a state actor, a media outlet, or even a social media post, you can critically evaluate the message. Education is also powerful defense. Teaching people how to critically analyze information, question sources, and seek out multiple perspectives can help inoculate them against propaganda and psychological manipulation. Lastly, fostering resilience, both mental and emotional, is key. A population that is confident in its values, informed about the world, and supportive of one another is less likely to be sowed by fear-mongering and divisive rhetoric. On the battlefield, soldiers who believe in their cause, trust their comrades, and are mentally prepared for the hardship of war are more resistant to the demoralizing effect of psychological warfare. As we see today, words have been used throughout history to break the will of the enemy, shape public perception, and influence the outcome of conflicts. In the hands of a skilled communicator, words can be as powerful as any weapon. But just as they can be used to destroy, they can also be used to build, inspire, and unite, and work for peace. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of the power of word in warfare. If you found this episode insightful, I encourage you to share it with others and to keep the conversation going. Remember, the words we choose to listen to and the words we choose to speak can shape the world we live in. Until next time, stay informed, stay resilient, and choose your words wisely. Tony, signing off.